You're listening to the Love Over Addiction podcast. Hey there. How you doing? Some of you extroverts right now in the world today might be going a little crazy because you can't leave your house. We've all been quarantined and told to stay inside. I have never received so many text messages in my life. I don't know about you. But for those of us that are introverts, we're not minding this too much. This whole stay in your house and hide thing, it kind of was working out for me, I got to be honest. Although, of course, I feel incredibly sad for all of the tragedies that are going on in this world. I also think that taking care of ourselves during this time is of ultimate importance, and also keeping a sense of humor. I have a father, as you guys know, who is 80 and lives in New York City, and every day I send him something funny, and my goal is to try and make him laugh, because it would be really easy for me to spiral out of control with terrible thoughts about the risk that he has and the potential of him being exposed. But I refuse to go down there, and I refuse to submit my mental mind and space to going down the path of what if. And instead, I'm just trying to focus on the time that I have with him and bringing him laughter. So this is a loving reminder to all of you during this very scary and uncertain time. Monitor your thoughts, your feelings, and yourself. For me, that looks like not going on any of the news channels or staying off social media. I'm watching funny, uplifting movies like La La Land and Bad Moms, and reading the books that have been on my shelf that I've wanted to read for a while. It means cooking from scratch again, using all of the ingredients in my fridge and my freezer and my pantry that I've had stocked in there for a while. It means putting my phone away. Yesterday, I even had to turn it off because too many people were texting me articles and news and, losing their minds, and it just wasn't healthy for me. So I literally turned my phone off for the rest of the afternoon and took a break and unplugged. So whatever it is that you have to do in order to make sure that you're taking care of yourself, do that. Set your boundaries. If there's anyone in the world that is prepared for this, my friends, it is you. Because you all know about boundaries. You've all been educated about self-care. And you know about the only person and the only thing that you can control in scary situations is yourself. So stay in your lane, practice self-care, and gentleness and kindness, most of all, with you. I love you, and I'm thinking of you, and hopefully you will find this podcast helpful. And if not, that's okay. Don't listen to it. Just come back to us when you need us, because we are always here for you. Codependency, practiced with the right people at the right time, can be a huge gift. And today we're going to talk about the 3 ways codependency can be a very good thing. Are you ready? Okay. Reason number 1, when everyone else has walked away, you stay to help. And what I mean by this is, let's pretend we're running a marathon. It's actually something I've never done before. It was on my bucket list. And for those of you who don't know what a bucket list is, because there's many of you all over the world, it's a list of things that you plan on doing before you die. Well, I wrote out a bucket list, and I used to have running a marathon on mine. And I have a few close girlfriends who actually do run marathons. So I asked them for some advice, and they said, Michelle, really you need to start with a 5K. And I guess that's a race that's a much shorter distance. I think it's a little over 3 miles. Because several years ago, I swear I couldn't run around the block. And I've never even had been or seen the inside of a gym. That's really true. So I just really don't like working out. So I started running, and after a year of training, I was able to run over 3 miles. And I think that's kind of sad that it took me that long to be able to run just a little over 3 miles. But anyways, after my first 5K, I felt so victorious. But I definitely decided I was not a runner. No, thank you. And it made me admire my girlfriend so much. So I came home and I crossed off the marathon on my bucket list and just substituted 5K and moved on from there. But back to my point. And yes, I promise there is one. Let's just pretend that my 5K was a marathon, okay? And there was a moment in the race that some runners get hit when their body gives out and they literally collapse. They push themselves so much and so hard that they fall. It's really, truly not an uncommon scene in the last 5 miles of a marathon. But what is uncommon is the runner who stops her race and forgoes her time to help the man on the street. Most people train for this event for years, and their time matters. If they stop, they know they might not be able to continue. So it's totally normal that no matter what is happening around you, to just keep moving. But I know several women who stop running their race when they see someone in pain, and who will even run back to go get some water. They will come alongside the broken runner, put their arm around them, and make sure they get medical assistance. These are the women that have been called codependent in meetings. These are the women who are adult children of alcoholics or wives of gamblers. These are the selfless, courageous, and thoughtful woman. And if that's called codependent, then they should wear that label proudly. The second reason codependency is a gift is because it makes us good friends. We show up. We listen when someone's hurting. We try to help. And when someone is sharing her pain or problems, we get busy trying to think of ways we can help. We can be counted on, and we follow up with a text or a phone call to check in and make sure that person is doing better. We arrive at doorsteps with a pot roast. We defend and protect because we are loyal to those we have let into our close little circle. And we might not do all of these things all of the time, but we do them enough to be really good friends. The third reason codependency is a gift is because we're willing to say sorry. We're usually the ones to admit that we may have messed up and made a mistake. In a world full of defensiveness, we are refreshingly willing to take responsibility, to own that maybe we didn't get it right, or to admit to our friends and family and even strangers we don't have all the answers. There are so many more amazing qualities that come from being codependent, and this blog is one example. I've been writing here for over 4 years, and this little community of women like you are some of the most polite, loving, and caring women I've ever known. You make writing and doing this podcast a joy. You warm my heart. I love our group of women. And I know that's not normal in most online communities. I mean, have you ever gone to like a gossip blogger or like a political blog and read some of the comments? It's terrible the way people treat each other. That has not happened in our community. We have great manners and we are here for each other. So I, for one, I am proud to be codependent. That label, that's fine with me. What qualities about codependency do you think are helpful?
This podcast is created for your support, encouragement, and entertainment with Michelle's personal thoughts and beliefs. From one woman to another, bonded together by the fact we love someone suffering from addiction. This is not intended as a substitute for therapy or advice from a professional.